With the advent of the internet, something happened never seen before. There was a place where you can read yourself stupid. Some say people read less these days. This is not true. Rather, the opposite. I think people read even more these days. Not books, magazines, newspapers, but bots, nonsense. Since the early days of writing and reading and printing, everybody who did it became smarter. Some more than others, but generally speaking, readers learned something valuable for their lives, and ideally for the lives of others. That changed with the internet. The internet broke that mold and made the post-truth era possible. Although some surely benefit from the accessible knowledge in the World Wide Web, but overall, the internet is dumber than a pinball machine. A pinball game cost money, no flat rate, no $5 and you could play all night. Also, most likely you didn't play alone. You met people. You talked, played, talked, stayed, and talked longer. The internet is mostly used alone or anonymously, in an algorithm-led one-way conversation designed by huge corporations to maximize their profit for their shareholders. And in doing so, they are willing to walk over brain corpses. What is a one-way conversation other than a modern sermon designed by Silicon Valley kids and your untreated trauma in your head straight from the pulpit in your hand? The pinball machine didn't pretend to make you smart. The internet promised to teach you, and it held that promise in a curated way. To trigger your happy hormones, it's either dopamine or do what I say. A book can be many things, but not an echo chamber. Imagine the next page would write itself based on how long you needed to digest the sentence on the previous page. Imagine a newspaper would write the next article based on the same observation and on what sentence outraged you the most and what parts you highlighted or ripped out. Did we get so used to dopamine-streamlined reading experiences that when intelligent books deny us that rush, we perceive them as boring? Or even painful due to the lack of happy hormones nowadays associated with reading? I enjoyed standing together in tiny corner eateries where the daily newspaper was free to read, and every time the news was discussed between people that not necessarily met, because you could and dared. Commenting or liking is not the same. Even the dumbest comment is crafted, while a conversation between people exists in the moment, and tone, mimic, and gestures play a role. Commenting, replying, or liking cannot replace a conversation. These are tools leading into isolation. And how does it go in education? Allegedly, the most you learn from your peers. And who is your peer when nobody is around but a device in your hand? Soon the generation will be gone that witnessed people discussing the news in public and in break rooms and in eateries that included the village idiot and respectfully put him into place. The internet took the village idiot by the hand and said, "Look, you're not alone. There are millions of you worldwide. Come, let's get together, celebrate and reinforce your beliefs by forging the soft thoughts and theories until they harden to absolute nonsense only you can mansplain. That only makes sense in a nonsensical world, where normal is weird and truth became a social abstract."